Ah, yes. Fancy Pants McFancy.
Ah, yes, old bean. Good show.
We have to do a fancy episode. It's required in every series. And this is my fancy voice. All fancy people have a fancy voice.
Your fancy voice is a British woman?
Yes. Oh, yes, darling. Indeedly do. Looking quite dapper with that striped tie there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Your tie looks a bit...
Don't say if
small.
I do. You know what I love about Fancy McFan's world? All the nice little events we get to go to.
Yes,
The
all
balls,
the parties.
the capers, the conundrums, and the cadavers. Indeed.
Bodies?
Who done it?
Haha.
That's a real question.
That's a
Jay.
tease.
Oh, who is that? Alright, I'm done.
What? We have our first guest of season 2?
Well, we don't have guests in season 2. We promised we wouldn't.
Who are you?
I am me.
She's got a mask. We
There's-
don't
There's
know who
only
it is.
one thing we can do. Have a game show to determine the identity of our new secret guest.
I am me.
She's disguised Batman.
Batman's back, guys.
She's disguised her voice. We don't know who it is.
Okay, here's the...
Now you have no idea who I am. I could be someone completely different. You have no idea my identity.
We have to guess. We have to ask obscure
Questions.
and yet 100% related questions.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you American?
Yes.
That narrows it down by like 6 billion people.
Let's
We're on
go.
track here.
On track. Okay. Are you from the East Hemisphere?
It's a simple question. You know.
Easy, really.
Are you going to be so rude as to not offer me a drink?
Oh, shoot. Any fancy episode. Oh,
Oh, very fancy.
needs the winks.
Oh, yes. Oh, wow. That's
Keep guessing while I pour the lady a glass.
nice aqueous martini.
Of course.
Oh, yes. The only way I drink them.
Ah!
Ah, yes. Are you some toothpick with my water? Sorry, martini.
Thank you.
A toast to whoever you are.
Whoever I am.
Cheers. It's a cool noise.
It's a cool noise.
One more time, just for the kicks.
All right.
Beautiful.
That was 2 questions. Question number 3. Where'd you get that mask? I mean, come on.
Are you an extra from Phantom of the Opera?
You guessed it. No, actually. Although I wish.
Question 4. Are you wearing jeans?
Good question. Very, very solid question.
I'm a little stumped. This is a hard question. I'm afraid this will give away my identity. And the answer is yes, indeed, I am wearing jeans.
Aha!
We've narrowed it down by another 500 million people.
My final question.
It could be me at this point.
You're
Ah!
final.
Oh,
Are you him?
Yes, I am.
We
No.
figured it out. Let's go. Oh,
All right, Storm 2.0.
my simulacrum is still running amok. So,
I'm
you never
scared to ask
know.
what that means.
Oh,
It's a fancy term.
are you
For a fancy show. Yes, am I?
more evolved than the rest of our guests?
I am more
Whoa.
involved than the rest of your guests,
Aha.
actually.
That was question 7.
6.
I can't count.
6.
Clearly, you both cannot count, which definitely means I am more involved than either of you.
Look, I'm a wordist, not a mathist. gotta give me some slack here.
Mathist isn't a word, so I don't think you're
I
either.
think in your attempts to be fancy, you're adding ist onto the end of words to add extravagance, and I do not believe that's how it works.
You're just extravagantist. Okay, next question. Are you,
Am I?
by blood, related to Kevin Bacon?
5 degrees away.
5 degrees.
Ooh,
Now we've narrowed it
that's
down.
1
You're
degree.
close.
Now we've
that's
narrowed it
1
down to
degree
3
closer.
people on the planet.
Not by blood, but I'm about
But it
5
still
degrees,
could be me.
5 degrees away from Kevin Bacon.
That's 1 degree closer than most of America. So
True.
Very true.
I think. So what do we know? We have a gene-wearing, sophisticated, Kevin Bacon-related
By
person.
5 degrees.
Who are we kidding? That's everyone on the planet. All right. We gotta really narrow it down to this next question. My next question is, do you, perchance, and perchance is an important part of the question,
Perchance, okay.
play the didgeridoo?
See, I do not, which is such an epic fail on my part. I do
Very much
play
so.
instruments, however.
Musically talented.
That narrows down the region, at least. Although we already did America, so I don't know why I just narrowed out Zambia. But whatever.
Oh. Are you a fan of the mental processing genre?
Do I like to think?
Yes, that's another good way to phrase it. Yes.
Yeah.
Thinking is a fun hobby of mine.
That's not a lot of people like that, you see. So
Are you a psych major? If so, get out. I'm kidding.
I contemplated a psych major in my early years, but very quickly decided against it before I ever reached a point that I would need to utilize it.
Yeah, none of that witchcraft here.
Yes.
Oh, I have it. This will help us figure it out. Are you currently, or have you ever been, running or in a public office?
I am currently running for a public office.
Oh, would you mind sharing what that public office is?
Final guess. Stacey Abrams.
I am running for vice president.
Oh, a new Kamala.
Let's go.
An association.
The association of the subcommittee of the committee
Of the
No,
United
it's
States.
a little bit higher.
of the United
Okay.
States of Switzerland.
Yes, actually, yes.
Wow.
That's all right. So we have an up and coming politician who wears jeans, likes to think,
I would like to say those
has
things go well
not been
together.
in Phantom of the Opera,
No.
and can play musical instruments of some sort.
Oh, Jack Black.
See, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jack Black had been a part of Phantom of the Opera in some shape or form.
True.
Even the lip sync video.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
He can't play
Can't you tell?
instruments. His fingers are too big. We know this.
Yeah.
All right, we have what, like 2 more questions?
Yeah.
I think you're at.
I think because
15.
the guesses are count as questions.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
then
I
you
think.
guys
Okay,
are
let's say we
almost
have 3 guesses left.
out. All right.
My water tastes like toothpick.
You mean
So
your
exquisite.
Oh,
aqueous
my
martini?
aqueous martini.
Yes.
Just aqueous. Aqueous.
Aqueous.
That's, yes, you said aqueous.
Whatever.
My aqueous martini.
He
Aqueous,
thinks he knows
aqueous.
things. I can't
Yeah.
even speak today.
We're all wordists today.
Wordist is just us.
Mhm.
We Wordist.
Did you do
one.
your Wordle this morning, Carter? You forgot.
Wordle is all the rage in a region I am from.
Aha.
Is
A
that
hint.
region? No, wait, we can't use one of our guesses on location anymore. We have to use it on people. I think we need to narrow it down. We have to narrow it down by age, right?
Ah.
So we can figure out what generation. But how do you say that in one question?
Are you
Are these just
related
yes or
to?
no questions, or
Are
I
you
mean, we have
related
I think so,
to
yeah. I think
someone on this couch? Not yourself.
good clarifying question? I am indeed related to someone on this couch.
She related to the jackalope that's been hiding behind this pillow.
Whatever happened to our goat?
Where'd the goat go? Oh my gosh! Did he die? Is he okay? Someone call
Anywho.
a help support for the goat.
Anywho,
Okay. That narrows it down again.
you have a secret aunt.
Are you? No. No. Are you? Who's related to me? I'm
and
unaware.
also
You live
related
alone.
to Kevin Bacon.
Also related to Kevin Bacon.
You know.
My great uncle Patrick said something about Kevin Bacon in his lost letters.
Neil Patrick Harris?
Yes.
Oh, to be
I
related
love
to
your
him.
work.
Oh, I love my work too. So
Let's get-
if I were to be Neil Patrick Harris,
So you don't love your work normally.
that comes with being a perfectionist. Yes.
Ah, okay.
I see.
Which of your
okay.
relatives are perfectionists?
None of us. We're all ramboisterous.
Boisterous.
Yep. Word of the day.
Boisterous curmudgeons.
Yep.
So,
All sorts of curmudgery.
so maybe she's related to me.
Okay, so in that case,
I have quite the family tree here. So
You have like 3 people, right?
yeah, just about.
Just about. Old Great Sally, your nephew Steve,
Yep, and old Scratch Johnson.
and Old Scratch Johnson. Are you
Oh, you got me.
Scratch Johnson?
We're
Nice
stumped.
Oh, O'Reilly's Auto Parts.
Ow!
Copyright. Do not. Nope.
Yeah.
Do not say that.
Yeah,
Copyrighted.
we're not sponsored, but O'Reilly's,
Please don't
if you're
sue
out
us.
there, Auto Parts.
Ow.
Ow! I would love to do O'Reilly's commercials.
That'd be
Take
funny.
me away.
We say
You'd
auto
be
parts, then
fantastic
I
at
slug
O'Reilly's
you.
commercials.
Mhm.
Ow!
We'd be great. I mean, come on.
The two of you, I mean, I have to say, being a part of the show has just been the highlight of my week.
Wait, we have a sponsor. TD Worlds.
Oh, TD
We haven't talked about them in like 10 episodes.
True.
TD Worlds. I'll give a shout out. Everyone, go check out TD Worlds or whatever it is now.
TD
Maybe TD Universe. At this
TD
point.
Universe.
Like Tad is going places while we're stuck in
Yeah.
this basement.
For
but-
all your TD needs.
For all your TD needs. So go check them out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea who or what that is, so
Our
I
good
will be
friend,
checking it
our
out.
good friend Tad, we had on as a guest
Oh,
from
I
the
know
very
Tad,
beginning
yes.
of the show. Theodore was
Theodore,
one of our
sorry.
first guests, and thus he claimed the role of sponsor of our illustrious high-end show. And we have to sponsor his. It used to be TD Lawns, but then it kind of grew into
TD
a
World.
TD Worlds or something.
TV King of the Multiverse? Is
Yes.
that-
TD King of the Universe. Sorry.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Precisely.
Reveal.
We have one more guest.
I think you should have one more guess that'll get you a little bit closer, because I have to say,
Are you
a
Batman?
little.
We did it. Let's go, gamers.
we've discovered Batman's identity, and yes, he is back on the show after popular demand.
If I can find
How you doing,
Find
everybody?
the release of the mask.
find the release,
I guess you're stuck like this for the next year.
I'll just be forever trapped in the mask.
Yeah.
And for
That
the
grins
reveal,
and lies. It hides your
wear the
cheeks and shades your eyes.
This
Whoa.
debt we pay to human guile
Guile.
with torn and bleeding hearts. We smile.
Only 2 people could be so in sync. It's Carter's wife.
Hi, dear.
It's Lindsey. Lindsey on the talk show. Let's go.
Hello, everybody.
One
Could
of
you
our-
guess it was me? I mean, I think we should give some applause for this mask that so beautifully hid my
Yeah.
identity.
I know, right?
I mean,
Come on.
what's you? There's such a difference
Yeah.
between like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know it was me. I looked in the mirror and I gasped.
That makes
Like,
sense.
who is that?
She had to ask 20 questions as well to herself.
I
Just
did.
like any
It took
protagonist
me
in a
45
movie,
actually.
Whoa.
any protagonist movie puts on, they put on a mask that doesn't even hide their face, and instantly their best friends just are clueless about them,
Yeah, no
or even a
idea.
pair of glasses.
The Incredibles. How do they get away with that? It's literally one little mask that just goes right here. The best movie made in history.
Yeah.
But how it doesn't work.
It's
Also,
black.
Yeah.
And
I'm
so it's
so
like,
sorry.
It's like very
How
dark.
does it stay on their face? They take it and they go like this.
Super glue?
Sticky. Super glue.
Oh, it's staying. No.
oh, no.
How do you fight crime in that? That makes
Maybe it has
no
like a
sense.
couple, like not the whole thing sticky, but maybe it has a couple sticky points, because you
Wouldn't
always
that,
see them pull it off
And
at
then
one
you
point.
take it off, and you just have like little welts on your
Yeah,
face.
wouldn't that like rip? Mr. Metal takes it off one time. Connor's eyebrows.
Gone are his eyebrows.
Oh,
Mr. Incredible.
and
He would
I
never
think we'll
score
set this.
Elastigirl without those bad boys.
Oh yeah, no.
Let's get real. But yeah, you were saying even glasses. Like
Yeah.
Clark Kent, come on, man.
Yeah. Well, I
He-
think it's also the button-up shirt really hides his chiseled
true.
self, and so
It's just you never can tell.
no, you really can't.
He could be in this very room. He could be you. He could be me. Team Fortress 2 music begins playing that I will not hum because we will get sued.
Yeah.
We're really big. I don't know if you know this. We're like on the air. Like national television is watching right now.
I have to say, from the region that I come from, which is my college, if you have not
Mm-hmm.
guessed, there are people there who know of you, and people who will indeed be watching this podcast.
Who are we kidding? Everyone's watching us.
Yeah. We're-
Everyone is.
well,
That's
global.
truly.
We're national heroes,
I
national
introduced-
treasures. We are Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
I think you could take that role, champ. Do the face.
I don't know what Nicolas Cage.
Oh, he has like the scared face where he's like, ah! Someone's gonna
I
loop
don't
that.
think-
Someone's gonna do a gif of that. Oh, news in the headlines. We finally figured out how it's pronounced. The word GIF is not GIF or GIF. It is YIF with like a Y sound.
Is that
It's-
because of the war in Ukraine? We've found out.
I
that
don't
their
know. I just saw it on
alphabet
the
is
news.
correct over ours, and therefore it's
Yeah.
correct over ours.
Oh.
Words
A
are just
different
not our
language.
day.
Are
Are not.
not our day. So it's YIF.
Couldn't have
so
said it better.
anyone who wants to YIF me going can do it.
I think with
Nicolas
that sound
Cage.
too. I think we really need to capture that sound, and we'll be set.
Fortunately for me, there's something called the Platypus Effect, where the person who will sit there and watch this will be like, "Oh, the next person will do it," and that person will be like, "Oh, the next person will do it," because platypuses they don't do much.
Oh,
I
makes
was going
sense.
to ask why is it called the Platypus Effect?
That
That
tracks.
was lovely. I'm so glad I know that information now.
Yeah, that tracks.
It's the effect of when you tell a group of people to do something, they'll always think someone else is going to do it, and no one will do it.
But you really can't call it the Platypus Effect without our brilliant exception. Harry the Platypus does so many things. How
True.
could we not
Harry
give him
does
the credit?
nothing. He sits in the backyard all day. He kind of wanders off occasionally. Doesn't do much. He's a platypus. They don't do much.
I know something
Right.
you don't. Dun, dun,
Hey, the-
Harry the Platypus.
But yes.
Anyway, back to our classy episode.
Oh yes. Sorry,
Yes.
we were talking about secret identities.
With
and
our
we were discussing.
aqueous martinis. I'm saying
Indeedly
this
do.
correctly?
enough.
Okay.
You know what?
Close enough. I'm doing well.
What are your favorite
Doing
parts of
good.
the fancy world? Because we are so high class here.
Favorite parts of the fancy world.
Fluff my tie.
I have to say, it's the way that people speak to one another. It's such a difference. It's a higher
Hell
class.
yeah.
No, it's this. It's just this new world of speaking, and I feel like whenever we elevate our speech, our minds are also elevated, and it just sort of transforms us into a different world from just our basic physical world into this whole other place.
Well, good speaking comes from good reading.
Oh, very true.
No.
So what's
Well, yeah.
Oh, you disagree?
I was gonna say good speaking comes from good writing, which comes from good reading.
I
Oh,
just
yes.
skipped
But
More
read-
steps.
yeah.
So what is the best reading around in your classy
Best reading
opinion?
around.
In your collegiate opinion. Is that how you say that word?
Collegiate.
Collegiate
Collegiate.
opinion.
College I ate.
Yes.
So are you
college I ate. Murder she wrote. College I ate.
Well, let me clarify. Is this a question about so far what I've read at in my collegiate
What's been the most
experience?
classy thing?
I have to say, I really enjoyed Plato's The Republic.
Ah.
Or the
The-
Republic.
I have not read Plato's For the Republic.
You have not?
No.
Okay. Honestly, I really loved it. The Allegory of the Cave, which is a classic.
Oh, the cave is from that.
Yes.
I've
So
read
it-
that excerpt, but I haven't read the
So
Yeah,
the
entirety of
excerpt
the
is
collection.
is amazing, but specifically going into Plato forms what he considers the perfect city, how to attain the good life, and he establishes these philosopher kings over everyone, that are supposed to do all the thinking, and they're the ones to figure out how society is to work. And you are
Whoa.
the philosopher king, and the laborers are determined by what metal they are born into. That he said every person in the forms realm is a certain metal, and so it's a tier system.
Like the caste system.
Yeah, it was so interesting.
So it's like communist but feudal system, but Greek.
Yeah. But Greek, yes,
Yeah.
very, very, very much so.
That's such an interesting concept, though. So certain people are elected to think for everyone else.
But
I wish my brain had its own brain.
I wish my mouth was farther from my brain.
oh, I completely just lost my train of thought.
But
That was so sad. But
you're talking about the government system. But
yes,
Plato,
but
a
so
plutocracy.
these philosopher kings, they are only fit to rule when their interests go towards society as a whole. They are not allowed to do things for what is best for themselves.
Who enforces that?
Honor.
Oh.
Because it's an honorable,
Virtue.
high-class society.
And virtue is controlled by the forms. So
So how do you prevent corruption then?
see, Plato didn't talk about that. He was building off of the perfect society. Oh, no. Correction. So sorry. He does say that what prevents corruption is he That was lovely. I really loved that. I want to screenshot that moment. He really rips apart Homer and Virgil for
Homer Simpson.
No,
Homer and
just-
Marge.
Not Virgil. That was another time. That was later. For portraying the gods as fallible. Because he was then saying the gods were, if we were supposed to look to the gods, but they acted unvirtuous, like you can't write them that way. And so
It's a
he
bad
says that we have
example.
to go through and censor what we are bringing up the future population into only showing them what perfection and perfect virtue should be like, so they don't know what is bad. Therefore, they will only focus on what is good.
So that means
Which
we
I
don't talk about like Ares, like war. We don't talk about
But
Dionysus.
only in its perfect right. There's so much.
Dionysus, whatever. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Dionysus.
And we don't talk about all the gods who were like a little more questionable.
So he's saying that
Like
we should
Zeus.
take out right. So he's saying it is
Zeus was straight
vulgar. It is vulgar for people to talk about Zeus in that way. That really the god Zeus is this mighty power, and we should not try to bring him down to the human equivalent.
I can get
Well,
So you should read it. It's
maybe I shouldn't
it's
have a third
fascinating.
martini. But then
you're not driving anywhere.
that's true.
If you're not supposed to show the gods in a poor way, that's assuming if you give everyone a good example and only a good example, that's all they'll have to follow. So that's assuming that people are inherently good, essentially.
Correct. It's teaching people to be inherently good.
Mm-hmm.
Which, personally, I disagree that if you don't show them a darker side, then they have no idea what they're doing is wrong. If you only show them what's good,
Well, no, they'll know because none of them could stack up to the standard of the gods. Right.
right?
So then
It's
that
it's
in of itself,
unattainable.
but it's good that it's unattainable because it shows them that they can't follow the precepts and the stuff put in place.
But then if they can't, then what's the point?
I don't know.
Anarchy.
Yeah. No, I
Plato's
think
city just completely flipped over.
if Plato had thought, like hypothetically this far, then I think, with my opinion having not read the book, is that he would be like, well, when people realize they can't do it, then at least they have something to try to do continuously, instead of just nothing, right? But then there's gonna be some nut jobs who are gonna be like, I can't do it ever, so I'm gonna go make my own.
Well,
society."
because
some people-
later, throughout time, a lot of other philosophers just continue to say that life is the good life is pursuing virtue. Whether or not you can attain it, it's just pursuing the pursuit of virtue.
You've said that phrase twice now. The good life.
The good life.
Is that like the good place?
Oh gosh, no. Well, I wish. I mean, I think if we could all just go to the good place, that would be fantastic. I mean, me and Kristen Bell would just have a famous time. I really do believe
A famous time.
a famous time.
You get along
The
famously.
thing is, what I'm now struggling with is we have been talking about the good life at my college since day one of school, so everyone from Sanford is probably groaning right now because I am groaning inwardly. So we focused. I'm in the honors program at my school, and we focus on talking about fancy things. We focused on what is the good life, like what does that phrase mean. So I could not give you one sentence of what that actually means, but a lot of our conversations have been looking at theologians and philosophers throughout time, starting from the ancient Greeks. Right now we're in Enlightenment era, so we've been reading Kant and Hume. We read some Mary Wollstonecraft and Rousseau, which was really cool. Rousseau. And trying to figure out what role virtue plays, because at the beginning of the year we narrowed down that the good life has to have some sort of virtue or moral compass associated, because there has to be an understanding of good. So from that we've been exploring.
I can tell you, the good life.
Right here.
With an aqueous martini.
We have good times on this couch.
We
I
do.
mean, we really do. Cheers to that.
Cheers again.
Cheers.
I like the
Okay,
noise.
wait. If we all sip some of it out in a different way, can we create a melody?
Whoa.
You keep the most.
Okay.
I'll go down. Are you going down?
A little bit.
Okay.
Okay, whoa. This one is high. That's
No, that's
low.
lower.
And this is also kind of high.
It's all the
So it's-
same.
so it's
Wait, hold
medium.
on. I
This
think
one's
you
lower.
said that back. Hold on.
Low. high.
That's the opposite.
Do it again. Low, high.
Yeah.
It's down.
Anyway.
Down.
Wait, now put your together.
See, I think I was thinking of a different
Down,
octave.
down, 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 down.
James Bond.
That was the
That was
Incredible.
incredible. James Bond.
James Bond.
We already had our spy episode. We're done with that. We are in civilized culture now.
As you take
James
out the
Bond is
toothpick.
very civilized.
I didn't think that's done in
Oh.
I
the...
wouldn't
How
touch
rude.
that.
Yeah. Throwing a toothpick at your
All
guts.
right.
Topic.
Humility aside, let us progress into an even fancier level of culture.
This definitely tastes like toothpick.
Knowledge is one thing, but with knowledge comes power. If Schoolhouse Rock taught me anything.
So true.
So looking at the most fancy societies around the world, what do we think are like goofy things that common folk are like, why on earth are these fancy traditions here? It's just because they're powerful, right? Like for example, to kick off the boat. One of my like favorite examples is when Marco Polo went to China, and he marveled all their weird customs that the higher ups and the elites had, like for example, the Star Wars Jabba the Hutt side bowl. Like the Emperor had like a side bowl of like earthworms that he would like touch to like make decisions or something. I read that in some historical.
That's random.
But like weird things that like only powerful people do.
I wonder, just throwing this out there, if they do establish something weird, especially when they're higher up in the sense that they have power, to establish that they are something special. They do something weird, or what we would consider weird, because it's something only they can do. It's the pomp and circumstance of the thing.
Like, what are your ties? What even is this?
I don't know. It's a rope I can yank people
Yeah.
by.
A strip of fabric around the neck that won't be used to choke the people.
Random, just completely off the topic. I do not get why at some dances, like there was a dance at my school, the girls would take the guys' ties and then have them loose and put them over the dresses. So then the guys were just wearing their shirt and the jacket, and the girls were wearing these loose neckties with their fancy dresses. It made
I don't
no
know.
sense.
It's kind of like
Absurdist.
Women.
But it wasn't absurdist.
It's kind of like, oh, that's my guy. I got his tie. You know, I'm with him.
Maybe.
So then if you go off and dance with another guy, then he's like, what? That's not my tie. Hold up. It tethers you together. That's what I meant.
Okay.
I don't know. That's my poor attempt at a guess.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I was
What are you chuckling about over there? Chuckles?
I feel like I'm drinking the paint off a toothpick.
It really, yeah,
It's magically delicious.
that's one word for it.
It's like when you eat cereal. You feel like you're eating the paint off of the cereal.
Yeah,
I-
fair enough.
Unpopular opinion, I don't like cereal. And I work at an undisclosed cookie store.
Undisclosed cookies.
Undisclosed cookie
Can I
store.
have an undisclosed cookie, please? Please.
And it was this week while I've been home for spring break, it was cereal themed. So there was like a Fruity Pebbles and a Cinnamon Toast Crunch and a Reese's Puff. So you would open the warmer, and the Fruity Pebbles one, there's literally like when you make the dough, because I made the dough one time, you literally pour in this bright red liquid that is called cereal milk flavoring. And it's disgusting.
Yeah.
It smells like raw eggs and old cereal milk.
I think you're just not cultured enough.
No, it was like I'd open the warmer and then it was that warm smell of raw eggs and old
Yeah,
cereal milk. It
Like
was not.
fruit stuff is always like
And sweet.
candy and cereal is always questionable.
Yeah.
It is good, but
Chocolate.
always questionable. But cinnamon toast crunch
cinnamon-
cookie
Okay.
sounds phenomenal.
They actually did a really good job with that one. That is
Yeah.
my favorite. I tried a bite of it.
I think you just don't understand cereal culture because there's two types of cereal culture.
Cereal culture isn't fancy. Like
No.
as we have our classy.
How
Are you kidding
dare
me?
you? There are
It's a crunch.
Are you
it's like-
uncaptating my
You are
crunch?
taking you are taking a dry, naturally hard, crispy substance and soaking it in liquid.
Yeah, it's
Do
great.
you like to eat soggy bread or toast and it gets really soft? Like that's disgusting.
No, because
Why
the
would you go out of
frequency
your
of
way?
the cinnamon toast and the fact that it's still
The
crunchy when you get to
frequency?
it. Yes, viscosity, might I say?
anyway.
Anyway.
But there's the three kinds.
Mhm.
There's the normal boring cereal people who have cereal in the morning.
Yes.
There's the tier above that of people who have dry cereal as a snack.
Oh yes,
And then there's the third tier of people who have cereal at night.
at midnight specifically.
Those people are the classiest, most intelligent individuals you will ever meet.
They're going
State your
places.
case. You
Well,
said-
they're going to the fridge, that's for sure.
For example,
Yeah, that's us. I ate cereal at midnight. Hey, you know what's over?
That's
sorry,
your only
underrated.
argument? What's your
Honey Nut Cheerios with strawberries.
eh,
Sorry, it's really good.
cereal's just not it for me.
Honey Nut Cheerios with some almond milk and some strawberries.
See, you know it's classy.
Ooh.
An omelet.
You know what's classier? I don't know where I was going with that. Omelets are. You know what's classier? Eggs Benedict. Because not
good
because
Eggs
about not because of
Benedict?
how it sounds. When you order an
Eggs
Eggs Benedict, I was like,
Benedict.
can I have after your kids like, can I have some scrambled eggs? And you're like, can I have an Eggs Benedict, please?
Okay,
and
and
you can
also
look down on all of them.
describing what an Eggs Benedict is also fancy. It's like an English muffin with a
Right.
perfectly poached egg with either bacon
Perfectly
or
poached.
Canadian bacon or ham with a little bed of
bacon.
spinach and hollandaise sauce.
Mhm.
That, like, please, how can that not be fancier?
I mean, it's true.
they
So
made
now I'm
they made a
hungry.
sauce out of holidays. Which one? St. Patrick's Day.
a Patty's Day
Holland
sauce.
days.
That has a lot of liquor in it.
Holidays.
Holland days.
Holland,
Holland
like
days.
the country.
The days of Holland.
This
Holland
is
isn't
gonna
even
be
a
probably
country.
completely wrong.
Where is Holland?
Oh my gosh, guys, we lost Holland just like we lost the goat.
Where is
Where
Holland?
did they go?
It's the Netherlands, right?
That's the
Oh.
Dutch.
What?
Holland is the Dutch.
Why do they have so many names?
Oh, the phone.
They're not the
Oh,
Netherlandish.
You want to know? Okay, this is a cool fun fact.
Okay.
Going back to college, but
Yeah,
what I've
go
learned,
for it.
politics. One of my politics class, we've been learning about British government, and I now know why they have so many names for
Parliament.
Britain, England, Great Britain, and the United Kingdom.
And the Great
Because they're just the worst.
Scott.
There's a difference.
Are there actually?
Yeah.
Run me through it because I need to know this.
So, like, let me make sure I get this correct. So, Britain and England both refer to England, like
border,
the
Excluding like Wales, Scotland, and Ireland.
right. So
Yeah.
just like that country, and I think I don't remember exactly the difference, but the people who call it Britain are nationalists. The people who call it England are nationalists. One of that,
And the others are not nationalists.
not
Yeah.
nationalists. Just like
Okay.
this is, and then Great Britain. I know it's awful. Great Britain is England and Scotland and Wales.
It's okay. So it's all of them except Ireland.
And then
it's like the
Ireland-
actual full island because Ireland's separate.
Yes,
Which
and
is
then
Greater Britain, yeah.
the United Kingdom
It's all.
is all of them with only Northern Ireland, because South Ireland is the People's Republic of Ireland and they're independent.
They are.
That's why the Irish, like, there's all the bombings that happened in the past. Like, there's a huge feud still going on,
Those
as we know
Irish.
from the Irish drinking song.
Yeah.
Great
one
song.
of the many.
one of the many.
You know, they say that before, back in the day before like liquor and stuff was invented, that Ireland was like a utopia of high tech and
Non-drunk
advancements
people.
of people who were totally sober.
And then between the alcohol and the potato famine.
That potato famine ruined them.
Yeah.
Potatoes ruined them.
That's a callback to the first episode. Very first episode we had in the show. We talked about potatoes for like a half hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the episode is called Idaho is the New Ireland.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's
I
episode
forgot about
1.
that.
Potatoes, my guy. Potatoes make the world go round. You know what makes the potato go round? My tummy. Anyway, continue.
They're naturally okay.
They're-
But that was
they're
so
naturally
fascinating
delicious.
to me. That was the very beginning of this book that we were reading about British government.
That's very
Which
cool.
also, the Brits have no constitution.
Yeah.
It's
Fun fact.
constitutional laws they continue to write on top of. Like, it started with the Magna Carta.
The Magna Carta.
The big thing. So-
That's my older brother, Magna Carta.
Magna Carta.
Your Magna Carta?
Yeah.
Magna Carta?
that-
Minimus Carta.
That thing that helped establish England's freedom.
Mhm.
From the monarchy. But it was fascinating to me that they have no semblance. Every single time a new party takes over the government, they basically reform the entire government. How much power the cabinet has over the prime minister.
This is
Like,
why
it's fascinating.
presidential government and separation of powers beats parliamentary any day.
I honestly agree, because
then the
their
Queen-
legislative branch is completely combined with the executive.
Mhm.
There's no separation of powers.
Yeah.
And then the queen and the rest of the royal family are just rich
It's
because
pomp and circumstance.
they won the birth lottery.
And because they're
No
all-
offense to you Brits out there. I'm
All
going to your
offense to
country
you
soon.
Brits.
I'm very excited. Much love for you, but your government's a little.
little kooky.
Crazy.
That's all I
What
can
is
say.
cool is the reason that they say that it works, which the book said that in past years, especially with Brexit, this is starting to shift.
Mhm.
But they have such a deep tradition of honor in their system that you have to do the honorable thing, which keeps their politicians mainly clean compared to American politicians. British politics are known as a game to play, and it's all about party systems. But because that is a notable thing, they respect more traditions.
That's the one thing the Brits are okay with. They're a bit classier than us
Yeah.
Americans.
Americans,
That's because we're God bless America.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
American good.